Smith, and I'm going to talk to you about the road to success. So, Wilmotte and Hawker, they are the authors of Interpersonal Conflict, and I highly recommend that you all read this book. It has helped me so much. They have defined conflict as a conflict is between two interdependent parties that are trying to have incompatible goals, scarce resources, and interference to achieve these goals. So a conflict is when there are people that they have incompatible goals and they feel like someone's attacking that goal, and it's a scarce resource to them. And today I am going to talk to you about the incompatible goals. And with the incompatible goals, I will explain how it fits into the other steps of the conflict management. And I am a communications major, and I have studied conflict management for a while. And I also am a direct care staff, and I work with people with mental and physical disabilities. Let me tell you, there are a lot of times that I have to use these principles of conflict management, and I have found that Wilmotte and Hawker, their definition of conflict is very accurate, and we are going to discuss an acronym. So, Danny, John, Monica, Tammy, Chris, buckle up, because we are going on a trip. This trip is an acronym, and it is an acronym for different incompatible goals. And through this acronym, we will discover how to get to the root of conflicts. Because in a business, there are always going to be conflicts, even with your coworkers. Conflicts are just a part of life, and conflicts aren't bad. And we can learn how to handle them so we can have healthy conflicts in our business and with our coworkers. So what does the T stand for? Well, the T stands for topic. So these are the basic conflicts. For instance, someone may be upset about money. They may be upset about, say you're driving and someone cuts you off, or you may be mad about not waking up to your alarm clock, which I know for me happens all the time. So in conflict management, this topic goal is not really about the topic. That is the top. And the underlying reasons are what we need to figure out. And usually the topic is just a manifestation of these other goals, which we are going to learn. And so, what does a topic goal look like? And I explained that it looks like, say, someone cutting you off in traffic, but say in the business, someone may be mad about something not being sent on time. Someone may not feel like their email is being understood, or they may be or a client may be upset at the CEO or the company for not giving them a call back. And our next goal is R. And what's the R stand for? Relational. So relational goals are more of the common goals that people are having conflicts about. So for instance, they may be mad about money, or they may be mad about the fact that they didn't wake up to their alarm clock. Well, they are mad about money because it is how the money is being perceived. For instance, say you were talking with a client and they were getting really upset about money and finances. And with JC Grayson, you all know you are a financial firm. You work with money all the time. And so the real reason that they are getting mad is not necessarily the topic. They are mad about the relational aspect of how their relationship is perceived with this conflict. And more often than not, you will have a relational goal that someone is trying to solve the conflict for. For instance, if someone cuts you off in traffic, they are not mad about the car. They are mad about how the relationship between the car is being perceived, and they are angry because of other underlying reasons. And whenever people get angry, it is because of fear. The root of anger is fear. And so, what is the next letter? I. And what does the I stand for? Well, the I stands for identity. So for identity, this is one of the most common problems that we find with conflicts. Identity is definitely a scarce resource. And like Wilmow Hocker said, when people feel like their goals are being attacked, they have conflict. And so people's identities are really important. So, Danny, Chris, Monica, John, Tammy, what are some hobbies that you like to do that you feel like you identify with, that help you when you introduce yourself to people or talk to other people, that you feel like it's a part of your identity? And can I get a raise of hands of someone who would like to share a hobby and how they feel like it's a part of their identity?
Rollerblading.
Rollerblading, that's really cool. And how do you feel like that's a part of your identity?
Well, it helps me calm down,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm happier because of rollerblading. And I also feel free. There's a part of it that's just so free.
I love that.
Two things on my feet and just ride.
I love that. So Adriana said that rollerblading is what she feels like is a part of who she is. And I love that. Many of you may have other hobbies like running or painting or singing. For me, it's photography. Whenever I talk to people, I let them know I'm a photographer. That hobby is a part of me. And identity is very important to people, and oftentimes their opinions they take as their identity. So in a conflict, you may be on the phone with a client and they're getting upset about an opinion, or they're arguing opinions and you're debating, or say you're with a coworker. It's not necessarily about the topic, which is what we just discussed at the very beginning. It's about the relational and the identity goals that are being conflicted. So the identity goal that is being conflicted is that they feel like their identity is being attacked. And that is a scarce resource because they want to protect their identity. And so what's one of the best ways to combat this? Well, we can have empathy. We can listen. We can help them save face. Saving face is one of the most important things. People will do anything to save face. So if you're talking to someone and they're feeling really upset, let them feel that they're valued and heard. Help them feel like they're being understood so that they can save face. Help them see why they are, in a way, right, and why they are being heard. But you can also explain your reasoning. So instead of saying, you're wrong, you can say, I understand your opinion. Let me share my opinion with you. And one of the best ways to solve a conflict when people's identities are being attacked is to apologize. So now an apology is not just saying, I'm sorry, I take the blame. An apology is not taking the blame at all. You can apologize without taking the blame. For instance, say you're upset, say you're talking with someone and they are upset, you can say, I'm sorry that this happened to you. I'm sorry for the situation that's going on. I'm sorry that this is hard for you. That shows that you are listening and hearing and having empathy. And that helps them save face and feel heard, and helps ultimately get to the root of the conflict and help solve it. Now the last one, what do you think it is? It's the letter P, and that stands for process. So the process goals that people may have are how things are being communicated. They may have emotional or logistical reasons that they are communicating. For instance, some of you may be married and when you talk with your spouse, sometimes they may be upset and you have no reason why. So for instance, say you left your shoes on the floor and you didn't clean them up. Well, they may be upset that you left your shoes on the floor, But are they really upset about the shoes? No, that's the topic, but we're going underneath that. The process, and you may explain that, oh, I just left them there because I just got home from work and so and so and so and so. But they may be upset and say, well, I felt hurt. I feel like you don't love me. I feel like you don't understand me. And they are talking in a very emotional language, and you're talking in a very logical language. And both of these are correct. But in process goals, sometimes it can be confusing because people want to interact with a different language, emotional or logical. And so understanding this helps you be able to communicate with them effectively, because if you can realize the importance of emotional and logical language, you can connect with your client, with your coworkers, and speak in the same language that they are using so that they can feel heard. You're not going to attack someone, well, not attack, you're not going to talk to someone who is very emotionally charged and just give them statistics and facts. They're going to feel more upset. And you're also not going to talk to someone who is more logical based and who's only talking about statistics and facts about emotion, because it may be hard for them to connect those because they're two separate languages, but in a way they are the same. And so through understanding these 4 principles of topic, relational, identity, and process, we can understand the incompatible goals that create conflicts, that cause people to feel like they have their scarce resources attacked. And we can understand the root of conflicts. And this will help you, JC Grayson, with your clients, and help you with your coworkers, and help you communicate better with each other and be more united. And JC Grayson, thank you so much for going on this trip with me.